All right, Schofield is out. Shakur Stevenson was right.
So I'm looking at him, I'm like, there's no way like anybody in their right mind will allow him to fight me on fight night in 8-ounce gloves. And it just seemed like he was a unready kid. He wasn't ready, so.
You know, this kid literally waited to the last moment. And in boxing, when you have these guys who are toeing the fence and you're not sure about them, this is what happens when you're in the sport. Shakur Stevenson has trained for this guy, and lo and behold, he cancels at the last moment, the 11th hour. And this is what happens when you are dealing with athletes in boxing and they are not sure about their comings and goings. But Shakur had the wherewithal to be clear to Andre Ward on all the smoke this week that this guy was not going to fight, and lo and behold, Schofield is out and Padley is in.
Obviously, His Excellency had already seen Josh Padley beat Mark Chamberlain, his favourite, at Wembley. Spoke to Steffi Ball, Tom Stalker, did the deal. He went to the gym last night, woke up this morning, did the check weigh, made his way to the airport, and it's just one of the most remarkable saves I've ever seen, to be honest with you. Huge respect to Josh Padley.
This is like the act of the gods coming down for Shakur to still get an opportunity to fight. So special shouts out to Padley for stepping up. And he was just actually, you know, one of Turkish's favorite guys at the last event. So he's also already fought on Riyadh season and had a great performance. But the fact of the matter is, today we have to be conscious when you're choosing your fighter. So the message is, Shakur was right the entire time. He had a feeling that these guys literally were going to back out, and they did. And guess what? Now the situation has kind of come to a surface.
Is the fight in jeopardy? And you said no.
Yeah,
so what transpired after that?
Because I didn't know that Floyd Schofield was in hospital, and I didn't know Floyd Schofield had accused everyone of poisoning him. And, you know, then you see these photos of him like laying in the hospital like gonzo, you know, like. So what do you expect? He's going to be all right to fight? I mean, the whole thing is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. You know, I don't even know the guy, but all I've seen is accusations. I mean, this guy never turned up to the press conference in London because he said that something like Shakur Stevenson broke into his apartment and ripped out his signature page on his passport. I mean, with all due respect, it's a bit of a strange one. So I don't know these people.
And Padley gets the opportunity. So you got to always be ready for these opportunities in boxing. Eddie Hearn was, you know, what we call a promoter. A promoter makes things happen under the most duress situations. And just like Dana White, he comes in on the 11th hour and gets a viable 15-0 opponent. And so Shakur Stevens need that kind of work at this level. But the negative in this is that Shakur is going to go up against a fighter that he has not trained for. This is dangerous. This is the kind of situation that you don't want to put yourself in as a fighter. And if I managed you as an agency, we can't allow that to happen. We just have to miss this one, and you have to understand that this is a business, and if anything happens to you and you don't have the showing that you need, then what's going to happen is your stock market's going to drop. So we call that your FSS score, your fight stock score, and that matters in this game. So I don't care if you lose, your score could go up, and this is where we are today. And I try to always encourage you guys to please understand how to do your management of your business, because if you fight, you're a business. So with that being said, we got to keep this thing front and center. Shakur warned us, and he told Andre Ward that this guy was giving him all the signs, and he's giving him way too many red lights and signals. So whenever you feel that in your gut, more than likely it's going to happen. So with that being said, I want you guys to take liberty to understand that this game has so many different ebbs and flows, and sometimes you're going to have to make a decision that's going to be hard to really make. But at the end of the day, you got to make it. Sometimes you just have to say, I can't do it. This is my career. You're not going to go into an exam and not have study if you're trying to get into a school, and you should not take a fight on a 24 hours notice. Just when they fight, they'll have 2 days to have trained, and that's more psychological training. And so hopefully stylistically this works out. Shakur's a savage. He trains and boxes against the best in the world, and I'm sure Padley does too. But when it comes down to a crossroad in your career, Padley's the only one that wins in this fight. Regardless of what happens in the fight, Padley wins. And, you know, Schofield, these opportunities, if you're listening, don't just happen to everybody. So this was an opportunity of a lifetime, and if you're not ready, you shouldn't pretend to be ready and take these type fights if you're not ready for them. And so when you start doing that, this is what happens. So all I want you guys to pay attention to is that you got to be careful what you ask for, because in boxing you just might get it. But we want you guys to take some of the knowledge that we're teaching you on this page on managing your fighting career and building your fight brand and understanding when it's time to fight and when it's time to say no. Diego Corrales learned the hard way. Anthony Joshua ended up doing the exact same thing that Tyson Fury did. They learned the hard way. They rushed right back into a situation that they were not ready for, and it just happened to be against the same guy. And I'm telling you the exact same thing. You got to see this game play out, and you got to understand how to look at it from both sides, the fighter side and the one who's operating the business side. And so, like I said, for those of you who are just tuning in, Schofield is out. He's in the hospital, probably more than likely suffering from dehydration. That's what happens when you don't live the lifestyle. Because we teach you guys on the page how to eat and manage your weight pre-camp, during camp, so that on fight day, when it's time to weigh in, you're good. Now, that's more than likely what he's dealing with, and plus a few butterflies, because Shakur knew that these guys were looking for a way out. So what do you think? Do you think this was just a way out for Schofield? Drop it down in the comment boxes. That's all I got right now. Like I said, congratulations to Padley for getting this fight. All of you guys for taking the time to listen to us over here at Master Boxing. If you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe if you like learning boxing, the business of boxing, that is. Be blessed at God's speed, and continue to follow for more.